fellow budgeters, my name is Brandy and you're watching From Debt to Dreams, and on this channel we're paying off over $400,000 worth of debt, but don't you fret, more than half of that is our mortgage. And I currently have the fan on in my room, so I'm sorry if you can hear that in the background. It's really warm. The sun is finally out. I live in southeastern North Carolina, and it has been nothing but rain for the last, feels like 5,000 years, but it's really only probably been 2 weeks. And finally today we're seeing some blue skies. There are still some rain clouds in the sky, but it's kind of rainy, which is, I mean, the sun is out, and which means it's hotter, which is great, but then also like trying to keep my electricity bill down, so I'm not running the AC as high. So the fan is on, and when I film without the fan on, this room just gets so hot. So the fan is on. My apologies. We are here for a new budget with me for the new cash or budget cycle, and then we're going to do some cash stuffing. So let's look and see. Let me turn on this light. Let's look and see how things went at the end of our last budget cycle. So excuse my nails, we had budgeted a total inflow to be $5,723, and our total inflow ended up being $5,938. For our total fixed expenses, the most notable thing here is nothing. I over budgeted on all of it, which is exactly what I always do. So we budgeted $2,485 and ended up spending $2,398.02. On our variable expenses, the most notable thing here is gas was over by $120 or $130, and that's because it's not just gas, it's gas and cars. We got an oil change on one of our vehicles, and we went a little over for groceries, and then we spent, for the last 2 weeks, spent $140 on takeout. So this is going to have to change. That's something that we're going to have to figure out for the next pay cycle. I don't mind us going out, but we just need to make sure that we're doing it frugally and not a whole bunch. For our savings goals, yeah, it's savings goals, but also like my category. So here's what we did. I did end up spending some money for myself. I even forget everything that it was. I know I went out to dinner once with a friend, and that was expensive, but the rest of it, I can't remember exactly what it was. And then, so yeah, so basically what I budgeted for us to be left over in our income account was $1,311, and ended up having $1,127 from that pay cycle. So I did have a little bit of money left over in our income account. So we had about $1,200 in our income account. So here we are. This is the new budget cycle. We got paid August 15th. So you'll see this on Tuesday, but today I'm filming it on Friday. And this pay cycle goes from August 15th to August 28th. So this is going to cover the rest of our August bills. We have an estimated earned income of $3,550. We're going to be using $140 from our pest control sinking fund. In my cash envelope rollover, I have $553, and in our income account, we have a rollover of $1,200, which means we have $5,443 to play with. So down here, we have our fixed expenses. We have our debt consolidation, Netflix, car insurance, my husband's student loan, our electricity bill, both of our life insurances, our tithes, my student loan, and then our quarterly pest control. And so right here, we're budgeting $2,333 in this part alone, which is so sickening because a lot of that is just debt. So we're, got to work that out. So then we will have $3,110 left over to play with. So right here is going to be the rest of what we've got going on. I had a rollover of $5 for groceries, so we're going to have $605 left in groceries. We had a rollover of $49 for school, which means that we have $79. We will have $79 in the, because we're adding 30, but really my son wanted to take his school lunch or his hot lunch money that I was going to send last week. He wanted to take that today, Friday. No, I was going to send next week. Anyway, it's when we do the cash stuffing, school will not be at $79. After I put in the $30, it's going to be at $73. But I wrote all this down before all that happened, and I just realized that. Scouts, we're rolling over $443 and adding 20, so we're going to have $463. Haircuts, we're rolling over 45, we're adding 20, so we'll have $65. For gas and cars, I'm budgeting $320, and I'm doing that because it's $200 for gas and then $120 for an oil change for our Rogue. Sadie, our dog, I'm rolling over $11 and adding $11 more for $22, and that's so that we can have someone come to the house and clip her nails. And that is an expense we've just added. And honestly, I think it's worth it for me because since I work from home and my schedule is a little bit more flexible than my husband's, I'm the one that has to take Sadie to the vet, or I have to rearrange my schedule just so I can get her nails trimmed, because she is not the type of dog that will allow me to do it. I've tried numerous times. So when I found somebody who will come to the house and do it for just a couple dollars more than what I would pay if I took the time to take her to the vet, I decided we're going to do that. So we're going to pay her out of pocket. She is a vet tech who is like doing this on the side. So from all of these categories, we've budgeted $1,554, which gives us $1,556 to keep playing with. So then for our savings goals or our sinking funds, we've got HOA is getting 40, pest control is getting 40, Jason's getting 21, I'm getting 1. These sinking funds are getting $5, Christmas is getting 53, and then savings is getting $300. Whew. Okay, so that's $50 into savings for 2 weeks, or mini Mondays, that's for 2 weeks, and then $250 for each week in the play and pay. No, $250 then in broken up. Anyway, that's how it goes. So let's do this really quickly. Let's get the cash stuffing stuff out and we will get started on that. All right, so here we go. Let's count out what we got here. I did take out the money for the, what's the word I'm thinking of? For the savings challenges, the play and pay binders. Just because, excuse me, I didn't feel like counting that on camera, to be quite honest with you. I'll do that in my videos. So for cash stuffing today, we have 200, 300, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, that's not right, that's 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 780, 790, 800, 805, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 850, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. So 861. Perfect. So we're going to start with this binder. This is our, kind of our regular spending binder, I guess. So we're going to do groceries, and groceries gets $600 that I split into 2 weeks. All right. So each one should have 300. 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 200, 300. So perfect. Then I add a paper clip. There's $5 in here that we'll get to spend sometime. And I'll put them in the groceries. All right. Then we have school. School is getting 30, but we're doing it in a funky way. So Let me write it down real quick. All right, we're gonna do it like this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. We're doing it like that because the way that the hot lunch is going this year is it's $6. Last year it was just $5 for hot lunch, but this year they made it $6. Our kids go to a charter school and we have to make lunch. There's not a cafeteria at our school, so we have to pack a lunch for them every single day. And some grades have decided they're going to do hot lunch where they order pizzas for the kids. So each kid gets 2 pieces of pizza, some chips, and some cookies if you send in money. So that's what I'm talking about. So we have 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, and 73. So that's perfect. It's exactly what we need. And then that gives me the 5s and the 1s that I need to pay for that hot lunch because it's every single week. In kindergarten, it used to be only once a week or once a month or every other week or something. I don't know, but first grade, they do it every week. All right, now we're adding $20 into Scouts. Whoops, what am I doing? All right, so we are at 1, 2, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, and 63. 463. Perfection. All right, haircuts is also getting 20. I think last time I did a cash stuffing, I was like, my husband is ready for a haircut, and he was, but Colin wanted a haircut before picture day, so we, Jason's waiting, but now we'll have money, enough money for him to go get a haircut. So we should be at 65, 20, 40, 65. So that's good. All right, and then Sadie is gonna get 11. So now we are at 22. And she should be getting her nails trimmed probably next week. I'll have to look at the schedule. Okay, and we are done with this binder. All right, next is this one, which houses our savings goals. We're going to put $1 into me. Is there a B in here? No, bummer. I like all of the dollars in my envelope to be B bucks, and I could look through all of my dollars that I have in my savings challenges for a B, but I won't this time. So each of these shoes is $2. I just colored in half of it. And I feel like I've been changing my mind over and over and over again about what I want. First I was saving for a treadmill, then I was saving to rebind my grandmother's Bible, and then the weather got really hot out here again, so then I was like, oh, I really need that treadmill so I could be walking during the day or walking at night with my kids. Not with my kids. Like, I'll be at home with them walking. Anyway, and now I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just saving money. 25, 6, 7, and 8. So whenever I get to the amount that I'm thinking of, which is about $300-ish, then I'll figure out what I want to do. All right. Jason's also getting $1. He is saving up for, he does other work. He does more than just $1. He does work, like yard work around our neighborhood, and people will pay him via Cash App or Venmo, and so he has money sitting in the Cash App right now. But we're saving G and H dollars for him for Good Looking Husband, and then he gets $1 every, this one actually is a G dollar. Let's do that one. He is saving for a new battery for his lawnmower. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then that is it for this binder. So now we're moving into this one. HOA is going to get 40. So we should be at 180. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 65, 70, 75, and 80. All right, pest control is also getting 40. If I did my math right, I should be at 230. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 82, 10, 20, and 30. All right, we're skipping extra heat. Annual fees is going to get $5. So now we should be at 70. 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and 70. Car care is also getting 5. And we should be at 50. You're probably wondering why I wouldn't use this for our upcoming oil changes, and that's just because I'm trying to build this up. So I'm using what's in our budget currently so I can build this up so that when this is a little higher, I can use it, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my brain. 20, 30, 40, 45, and $50 in car care. Clothing, which is basically my Jonas Brothers fund at this point. I'm going to the Jonas Brothers concert in October, and I am so excited. And all the money that we're saving up in this clothing envelope is going to be what we use for Jonas Brothers merch. 20, 40, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 75. And if you watch my Mini Monday videos, I made myself some Jonas Brothers inspired minis, and all the money that I earn in those Jonas Brothers inspired minis are gonna go to my Jonas Brothers merch fund. Instead of going to the emergency fund. Because I really want some Jonas Brothers merch, okay? All right, this is for Charlotte Football Club. 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, and 65. We'd go to the first soccer game of the year, of the season, for the Charlotte Football Club. All right, now this one is for the emergency fund. It also gets $5, just so I can be get in the habit of saving a little bit of money every single paycheck for our emergency fund. 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. We are $5 away from me putting that into the savings account in the bank and starting over for another 50. All right. There's that, and I think the last thing we have to do is our Christmas, which is our 52-week envelope challenge. Last week I did not color in the envelopes, but I'm doing it now so I don't forget. All right, so we are stuffing 20 and 33 this time around. We are so close to finishing this. I'm very excited. This is what we're using to stuff Christmas, or to, not stuff Christmas, to fund Christmas. We're using this 52. This is Janky Homemade 52 Envelope Challenge. 20, 30, 1, 2, 3. Yes. That was a weird way that my brain put those together. There we go. It's like, why is the 10 perfect? To put it in here. I like them in order for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter. All right. And then this last 20 goes to my husband, and he doesn't have an envelope for his own spending money, which is fine. All right, well, that's it for us today, my friends. I hope that you decide to come back on Thursday when we do a play and pay video for Thursday. We're doing a play and pay video to help us save money to reach our financial goal, which our current financial goal is to reach $5,025, in case I have never said that before. So anyway, I hope you have a really great day. Hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.